Hello, hello, and welcome back as we get into the exciting act. You might remember from before, but this is where things really start to get intense and fun, if a little frustrating. If it felt high octane on normal, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. So we start with a cold open that's actually a flashback, cuts back to the 80s. This is in the war for Hawaii between the US and Russia, which was apparently a thing in this world. Now, don't forget, if you look to the south at the bottom there, you can see the fans chilling. But let's not worry about them or about Evan, our writer. I'm itching for some action, so I just want to get right into the... If fucking jacket would hurry up. Right, now we can get into the action. So, you can see that we've got all guns available, so before... if I recall correctly, I used the AR, shotgun, and the sniper rifle, which means I still got to highlight the machine gun and the flamethrower. I'm going to start off with the machine gun because this is about the easiest level we're going to get as the soldier, and really, unfortunately, the machine gun is a terrible weapon. It's only slightly better than the regular assault rifle. You can see what's wrong right off the bat at that ammo count. Only 40 rounds. Now, I don't know about you, but if there's a game where you ought to really be able to do some Rambo play, this is it. And yet, you don't get enough ammo for that at all. You barely get any, and that makes it incredibly frustrating to use this gun because this is the one gun where I really don't want to have to count my shots. I want to be able to just hold down the trigger for days and enjoy. Furthermore, as far as the damage goes, I don't think there's any actual difference between it and the regular assault rifle, which is another black mark. Now, you might be asking why damage would matter since this is a game with one-hit lethality. Well, the answer to that is that when you go up against fat guys, it really matters how many shots it takes to bring them down. So when I use this, since the fat guys I'm fighting right now have guns, I pretty much have to hose down or try and get as much distance as possible and bleed them out, both of which are incredibly difficult and frustrating. Really, I'm going to use almost all of my ammo just trying to get the fat guys and play peekaboo with the knife for the rest. That is not fun. I'd also say it's not good design, but I mean, come on, we're playing hard. This isn't made to be fun, this is made to be challenging. Any fun that occurs on this difficulty is strictly incidental. Now, the other really bad thing, well, one of the many other really bad things about the heavy machine gun is how you get almost no ammo from ammo crates. It's, I think, about as bad as the assault rifle, like 5 rounds or something. It's atrocious. I would have shown that here, except for, amazingly, there aren't any ammo crates where you can resupply, which means it is possible to render this level unwinnable if you come in with no ammo. And you won't have anything to shoot the fat guy. So that's pretty much just GG, hope you don't mind restarting. Now, I took that level pretty slow, so I probably won't be getting a very good score. Oh, maybe not. I still got an A+. Not an S, but what can you do? So I'm pretty sure that this mission is just an establishing one to introduce us to the ghost wolves, of who the soldier, you'll remember, becomes Beard, and Jacket, who needs no introduction, just establishing their background pretty much. Along with, of course, the whole war and all that, because I don't think except for maybe a couple books that you can read earlier. Up until this point, it's ever actually established that there was a war or anything going on over Hawaii. Anyways, now we jump back a jillion years in time to the fans, and now this, I think, is pretty close to the chronological end of the... because it just happens to be the point in which they're famous. So I'd imagine they'd need to make a couple hits, go through a couple levels, whatever you want to call it, to actually get that attention. Oh, and about that book that was read earlier, that was referring to the film in which Martin Brown was an actor, the one recreating and heavily dramatizing Jackett's murders from the first game. I like Mark. He seems like a cool dude. And honestly, I get this weird sense that the whole murdering thing wouldn't factor too big. So, speaking of Mark, we're finally going to get a chance to play as him. Now, I always hesitated to play as Mark because, well, he's really cool in the animation department. His machine guns just make him ridiculously OP, so either you waste all your ammo at the very beginning, and then you just have Corey without the dodge, or you ration the ammo, and then all the levels are pretty much a joke. The reason why I took him is because of that fat guy. Now, you might have noticed that all these guys I just killed are melee only, except for this one guy here with the gun, which means that if you play as Corey, which I'd normally do, then you'd have to run all the way in here to get his gun, hope it's not a pistol, and then turn around and blast the fat guy who's chasing you. Not fun, pretty tedious. So just go as Mark for the easy start, and then I'll waste all the ammo so that I can actually have a little fun with it. You can try and take a weapon down with you, but anything other than Mark's machine guns just gets dropped when going down the ladder. Unfortunate. I hate this little bit. Now, something you'll see in a sec is that the level changer to the next floor is actually different, which means those two guys there are pretty much just vestigial and a waste of your time. Alright, so welcome to Dog Hell. I think there's like 5 dogs on this floor. It's terrible. And the worst part is, I don't know why, but it seems like they're pretty much all silent. Maybe I'm just not paying attention, I don't know. But they're definitely surprising when you're just trying to edge around a corner, work an angle or something, and just it suddenly press R to restart. I'm also not a fan of this section because it's not really something you can go into fast. You pretty much have to do something like what I just did, which is play peekaboo. Try and get an angle to spam in, and... Okay, I think I might be going a little too fast for once. I gotta try and slow down a bit. That almost win a couple lives ago got me real excited, and now I've got big old murder blue balls causing me to make mistakes. Ooh, that's bad. I don't think any of these weapons or guns have ammo. Ah, shit, I didn't see that guy with the shotgun there. Oops. Probably shouldn't have backed up there, but I was just really worried there'd be a guy with a gun that comes in after me. Okay, I bet anything the last... No, I thought for sure the last one would be a dog, but I guess not. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Is there another one lurking around? Oh, another thing about the dog hell is you'll notice how they blend in pretty well to the surroundings. The floor is a dark color that suits their fur very well. Makes it just a little more frustrating when you're in the split-second moment. So I think I may have mentioned it before, but I think this is perhaps the most horrifying floor in the game simply because of this. When you consider the ramifications of what exactly they're doing, along with the fact that people actually live down here, next to these bodies being what would you call it? Decomposed? Dissolved? I don't know. But yeah, it's a pretty disturbing thought. You can just see people rotting, turning to goo in one room, and then in the next you see a couch and pizza and people just chilling. No TV. Oh, I guess they have one TV. I wonder what they do for fun. I mean, knowing the type of people that would voluntarily assort with corpses being turned to goo, probably pull the legs off spiders and torture small animals. I'm not sure how well I did this one. I thought things were going really well until I missed that one last guy on the last floor, and then it kind of fell apart from there. Oh, looks like another A rank. Alright, I'll take it, not complaining. Okay, now we get a cut back to Manny. Add some... I think this actually immediately follows the last level. So, Manny is jealous. He is jealous that the fans are getting all the attention and the Miami Mutilator is getting none. So now, if you look closely, you can see a wallet there. He's planting evidence. If you got a really good memory, you might remember that the murder scene we go to after the next level, probably the hardest, most brutal in the game, is a dead guy who just happens to be missing his wallet. Manny's going to do a nice little frame up and quietly get them out of the picture. What amazes me so much is that Ash pretty much just lets him go. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is a clear-cut violation of the law. He wasn't invited in, and he doesn't have a warrant, so that should be a fast track to gun and badge, and maybe even a stint in the pen. Oh, there's also a little book here. Nothing really important. What is important is here. And this is our clear, concrete, bona fide evidence that Manny is the mutilator, because this is the corpse that we're going to see at the end of the next level. And that was his wallet that Manny just planted. Now, I really wish you could open the trunk here and see if the guy's still squirming around. I imagine he just fiddles while you go through and kill what might be triple-digit guys. I'm going to try and keep count. Hopefully I can keep up. Okay, I think that's 14, and this will make 15. I don't think I can do this as long as that guy's still alive. Oh, maybe not. Maybe these shotguns will be enough to carry me. Oh, no. You pretty much have to get your aim just right at the very beginning or you're screwed. If he'd had any other gun except for the suppressed pistol, I would have had that. I swear that when the game saves, it also tethers your mouse, locks it into place wherever it was when you got to the next floor. Because every time I spawn into the level, it feels like my cursor is really low. I mean, all my shots start there. And it means that I usually wind up burning through my ammo before I can get both guys. Ah, damn. Maybe I should have just thrown my melee, but usually you can close the distance there. Usually. There we go. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting any multi-floor combos this time around, which is really unfortunate. Ah, shit. I forgot to count how many guys there were there. I'm just gonna say a jillion. So now what I really want to get for the next floor is a suppressed pistol, and luckily for me it looks like there's a guy there that has one. If I can just manage to get it without him shooting it, which shouldn't be too tough since I can blast him from out of his line of sight, and remember to bring that for the next floor, then I will have a much easier time, which is good. Because last time I think it took me 10 minutes to get past that one floor. And we're off to a crackerjack start. So now if I ration my ammo really well, I should be good. It's the two fat guys that make this such a problem because you're pretty much desperate for ammo. It's got a really fucked up dynamic where you notice I have to back up and pretty much pull all the guys out like this is fucking WoW or something. But because that doesn't really let you get guns so easily. Since, you know, you shoot all the guys from way too far to pick up, you can't pick up the guns that you'll need to get the fat guys that are charging you down and burning through all your ammo. And since the fat guys are in pairs and they no longer fall instantly like they did in the original game, that means you also have to stop shooting pretty much the moment they snap into death mode or begin to fall down. And then immediately start shooting again once the other fat guy gets past. And it's just really tricky and requires both either a lot of space or a lot of ammo, neither of which is present in that corner. I think that room probably is the very hardest in the game. And I said this level was the hardest in the game, but really it's just that floor. Maybe the one preceding it as well, where there's two guys. Oh, yeah. And they're all dead. So this level has the highest body count in the game and the most floors, but I'm not sure how many that is. Actually, let's count. 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors, 4 floors, and 5. Well, I'm really happy because I managed to get through it relatively quickly, but my combos were all bad. So, I'm definitely not going to be getting a 1,000,000-point score, see things in scientific notation, and I am probably not even going to get that good of one. If I'm lucky, I think I might get a B or A-. We'll see. I really like just letting the score screen scroll. There's something remarkably cathartic about it. It gives you a chance to slow down and catch your breath before the next level. And well, look at that, another A+. Okay? Not complaining. That is a very good question, but Pardo wisely leaves it unanswered. And we see a Freudian slip on the part of Pardo. Though I will give credit to him for how cool he manages to play it right there. I wonder why they need a murder weapon if it's death by strangulation. Any case, you'll notice that the last guy died pretty cleanly, for lack of a better term. I think he just had his throat slit or something, whereas this guy's disemboweled. And if you recall, the third and final guy that we'll see is little more than a stain on the carpet. And I'm pretty sure that this represents the escalation of violence to match Pardo's increasing frustration that he's not getting any attention for his murders, and they're all just focusing on the mask maniacs, as everyone so loves to call them. And now, we're going to get to the level. But first, an introduction. Pay attention to the faces on these masks. And boom. So we had Richard make a little cameo appearance for some foreshadowing. Those are all of the lines that the fans say when they are in the tower or whatever it is. I'm not sure why. It doesn't really seem to have any significance. It's just little more than saying things that our heroes are going to say later. Maybe Richard just gets his kicks scaring random people on his own time. Hey, more power to him. So that right there is the sun calling to the henchman, or what he thinks is the henchman, having just pretty much destroyed the Colombians totally. Which means that this is about the chronological end of the game. The only thing that happens later than this, of course, is our little epilogue with Richter. I'm rather amazed that Corey was able to convince Tony to stake the place out for 2 whole hours. I mean, if there's one thing the guy doesn't have, it's patience. Alright, go time. How the hell did he get there? I have never in my life seen a guy with a gun there. Damn, I could have sworn I hit him. Finally, okay. Damn, I thought those last 2 rounds were dead on. This is a bad start. There we go. No? Who's left? The timing on this is really tricky. You get a lot of leeway if the guys have shotguns, which fortunately for me they did. That was really lucky. But if they don't, then you gotta get the timing just right, since you can only dive roll into... Whoa. Maybe I should be paying a bit more attention to the game. Another case of them having shotguns. Today, well, this floor is my lucky floor. Ooh, that was a close one. Damn. Man, I just can't catch a fucking break on those timings. Come on, you son of a bitch. You're really gonna fucking do this to me. It's about goddamn time. Jesus. Tony's floor is the one floor I really don't like. I think you can see why. But finally, it's over. Now we can have some fun. Wow, that was fast reflexes on that guy's part. I think he may have shot me before he actually got into the room. And with that, it's over. In more ways than one. The fans are dead, both mafias are destroyed, and the sun's about to walk off a building. I knew I was bad. I didn't realize I was that bad, though. This just leaves one loose end. It amazes me the balls on Pardo. They scramble a SWAT team of like 40 people to go after Tony. But when Pardo walks in, he doesn't even take out his gun until after he's well in the room. And there we can see the sun's corpse. And with that, the only person left was Pardo. So, for this episode's featured track, I'm actually going to bend the rules a little and do what is without a doubt unequivocally my favorite track in the entire game, and one of the best ones I've heard in years. It's the one that we'll actually hear on the very first level of the next act. However, because it's so short, you can easily get through it in like a minute or so if you know what you're doing. I thought that I'd play it for you in whole here. So this is Run by I Am the Kid, You Know What I Mean. Enjoy.